Hello everyone! Welcome back to the Casino Co YouTube channel. And today we are going to be talking about
That's a wonderful idea.
Now, what is Undertale's Genocide Run? For people who live under a mountain, Undertale is famously known as the game where nobody has to die, and rather than fighting the enemies like in any other RPG, you are recommended to solve a labyrinth of puzzles to spare the enemy. What happens if you decide to grind in each area and level up your stats like you would in any other RPG though? Well, that is this game's Genocide Run. And today, we're going to be talking about how this run makes you feel. Chances are that when playing the Genocide Run, you will have already played the game's pacifist route. You will have already played through all the characters' stories arcs, and you will have grown attached to these characters. So to be the one mercilessly slaughtering them, ruining their hopes and dreams, to be the villain is an absolutely heart-wrenching experience. And if you're a baby, you will probably opt out of doing this run right after Papyrus dies. However, in the words of Sans the Skeleton, no matter what, you'll just keep going. Not out of any desire for good or evil, but just because you think you can, and because you can, you have to. Simple curiosity is what drives most players through their first Genocide Run. Not that they're having fun, no, far from it. This route of the game is to be as boring and sluggish as possible. The reason you proceed is to see how the world distorts around you, how your actions have consequences to the rest of the underground, and how you start to be treated as less of a human and more like a nationwide security breach. That's what keeps you going, the want to see what is next. Now, after you play this run of the game, the logical person wouldn't play this version again probably. But you're not logical, are you? And as you play this version of the game again and again, you will start to feel very different things. Control. The power to influence or direct people's behavior or the course of events. As you play the Genocide Run more, you will not feel anything towards the NPCs which you cared so deeply for in the pacifist run anymore. You will instead view them as exactly what they are, NPCs in a video game, and you will start to realize that your feelings towards them had no significance whatsoever. The more you kill, the stronger you get. And the stronger you get, the easier it becomes to distance yourself. The more you distance yourself, the less you will hurt. In the exact words of Sans on the pacifist route. Your feelings of compassion that you once felt will now be replaced with a sense of control. Control is not something you have in real life. You can never really control anything. But in Undertale's Genocide Run, you control everything about the monster's life, and they are helpless to stop you as you simply proceed. Even Sans, the royal judge of the underground, the boss that took you weeks to kill on your first attempt, is nothing compared to your raw skill, destroying him first try, leaving you feeling like a god. Every number that increases, you have control over. Every event that happens, you know is going to happen due to your experience. And every monster's fate, you control. This is how Undertale's Genocide Run feels like. This is how it makes you feel. And the embodiment of this feeling is what the fandom has so lovingly named Kara Dreamer. This is not her actual name though, it's just what was in the source files, I think. Kara is simply short for character, and at the beginning of the game, you name this character without even knowing it. This character represents your feelings of control, detachment from your feelings, and that feeling you get whenever you level up. And then, as a final insult to you, the game decides to take control away from you and ends the game itself. The game gives you this feeling of control through the Genocide run, control that you wouldn't feel anywhere else. And then at the end of the game, it takes it away, like a teenager taking a lollipop away from a 5-year-old. Of course, we know this lack of control is temporary for the player because despite what the creature you named says at the end of the Genocide run, you know what's going to happen. All you need to do is wait 20 minutes and the game will be yours to control again.